It's a train, and you are on the Pagey train. And welcome to the Pagey train. We have with us Rob Wallis, drummer from Mendoza. Welcome, Rob.
Hi.
Again. Yeah, back again, man. Thanks for coming back on the show. This is the filler episode, because I've got you.
Yeah. We've got nothing else to talk about, motherfucker.
Yeah, we fucking do. We've got heaps to talk about, man. Man, we were bitching about, before we were on air, man, you were bitching about, was it we that were bitching about lawns?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about those...
No, it was just me.
Because we've had all these fires, right?
Yeah.
And then after the fires, we've had all this rain.
Bro, my grass was dead. It was yellow, brown, dirt. And then one day of rain, it's fucking 6 foot high.
It wasn't 6 foot. It was 4 foot.
Okay, it's 4 foot. 5.5.
Actually, mine was about 3 foot.
Yeah.
It was knee high to a grasshopper. Oh no,
You're a fuckwit.
It was a knee high, and I'm the grasshopper. Yeah, no, I did the mowing today, man. It was a bit of an intense experience because I haven't mowed the entire summer.
Real?
Yeah, I didn't.
That's how dry's been.
Yeah, I did not mow the entire. It's the only summer I haven't mowed. Because when summer comes around, you start dreading it, right? Like, you go, oh shit, man, I go,
yes, no mowing the lawn for at least a month and a half, maybe two.
That's winter though. Winter you don't.
No. Mine grow like in my backyard. It grows. It grows like crazy. Summer, the sun is killing the grass. It doesn't grow.
I'm just used to
burning
mowing
it.
I'm used to mowing in the mowing in the summer. Like, and this summer I didn't mow. It was just literally like a grass graveyard. It was just fucking dead, man.
Yeah.
But I saw the strangest thing though, like because I thought like rains were coming right before the fires. Actually, to rewind a little bit, we were at band practice like in I think it was about October.
Yeah.
And some of the fires happened on the east coast of Australia, like up Newcastle way.
Yeah.
I remember showing you that video. Remember seeing that video?
Yeah. How quick it moved.
Yeah, and it was like
the smoke from the satellite.
Yeah, it looked like someone lit a match and then wind blew the match.
Yeah.
And it was smoking.
Yeah.
And it was about a week after that, then the fires really fucking
Took off. Yeah.
You know.
Smashed everything.
Oh man, smashed like. Oh man, I'd never experienced anything like it.
No.
Like,
not in the entire time even with the fires. Like when I was when I was living in Collerton, like there was fires right at Luddenham. Like we were in St Clair, and one person had to be evacuated from his house, and we could see over the fence the fire.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even that bad. You know, like the smoke was thick, but you could go.
But it was only for a day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It was only for a day. Because I remember when I was a kid, like I remember, the parents like prepping the house for fire. Yeah. And we weren't in a fire-prone area. We were near the Georges River.
Yeah.
And everyone was out in their front yards, watering their gutters, clearing their gutters.
Yeah.
And the embers were falling.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, I would have been 9-10 years old. So it would have been...
Did you get any here?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, because you would have had the fire up from Warragamba.
Yeah. I think it was
the smoke and that.
I can't remember the name of the fire. It was the Willamillee fire. I can't remember the name of it. It was one of the biggest.
A fucking fire.
No, but it was a fire.
It was right at the wall.
Well,
of the dam.
Well, there was one day. There was several weeks where there was a lot of smoke. Like it was just smoke every day.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that. I went to go see a mate in Windsor, and I shit you not, it was post-apocalyptic. Like, you couldn't see 15 metres.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty bad, eh?
Embers were falling, like, I don't mean like ash, embers were falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
And this is like in town.
Yeah.
Like, and I was amazed that no houses burnt down there. And I went to go around and see my mate, and he was... he wasn't even inside, man. He was out drinking beer on his lawn. Like, once you're inside, man, he goes, man... I can't miss the show.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, man, that's intense.
I gave up smoking. I may as well just get it this way.
Yeah. No, but he was just there watching the apocalypse. Like, you could see the wind. Like, there was so much wind and smoke and embers. You could see the paths of the wind. Here we got... we started just getting leaves falling out of the sky.
The black leaves.
No, it didn't start off as black. They just started off as just leaves. Just dry leaves.
Yeah.
Because I was just, I was going out to the car to go to work. I'm like, where are these leaves coming from? There's no tree that is doing that.
Yeah.
And I realised it was falling from the sky.
Yeah, wow.
Like, because obviously, like, there'd been updrafts and their own little sort of weather systems that were pushing this matter into the air.
Did you see that? The
Yeah.
lightning, it was actually creating its own fucking lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's been known before, but not to that scale.
Yeah.
And then the black leaves started falling from the sky, but before all this happened, it was around the time I showed you that video.
Yeah.
I would drive down the Western Highway. No, sorry. Yeah, Great Western Highway.
Yeah.
Out near Kingswood, and I was drive down the road, and you know how they got the billboards next to the train track, sort of thing, and it said things like, "Have you got your flood plan ready?" And like it hadn't rained in ages.
Real. It said that on there.
Yeah, get your flood plan ready.
And I just told you before about the fucking fire and the rain.
Yeah, but that's okay. Look, you can look at it from a conspiracy theory, air quotation point of view, but I just think that it's like I do resonate with that idea because I find it peculiar when it's so dry that they're paying like how much are these advertising spaces worth? They're worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like for one cycle, like you know how you'll see people putting up billboards and taking them down, right?
Yeah.
For one cycle of one of those billboards, it's like $5,000.
Yeah.
Like it's not cheap to put up a billboard.
Yeah.
And there's the graphic design behind it. So you rent the space for $5,000
And get
then
the person to make the fucking poster.
yeah, and you probably spend a couple of grand making it. So it's a $10,000 operation just to put up one
Poster.
Yeah. Well, billboard, right?
Yeah.
And Misty and I, we saw this and we were like,
Fucking hasn't rained in like 5 years, man.
Hasn't
Come on.
rained in ages. Like, why do we need a flood plan? And then, we started getting, a bit alarmed about it. We're like, well, do we have a flood plan? Like, what would we do? Like, here we live on a hill.
Yeah.
You'd be right. But if you got isolated, you didn't have enough food in the house, and power goes out, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, because we're so used to just, hungry, go down the shops, go get something to eat. Or we need to do the weekly shop. And you do a weekly shop because it's a weekly shop.
Yeah.
Like, you're not doing a monthly shop. Like, you might have some canned food that might get you by. You might be eating that.
It's not a flood plan shop.
Yeah. Yeah. So we started buying stuff to be ready.
Have you done that yet?
Yeah. I've started the bug out packs.
Yeah.
Man, we're getting serious about it. I've written an entire list of stuff that we need for different escalations. It's actually quite a bit of fun, but
Doomsday preppers.
yeah, I am doing a bit of doomsday preparation. So we have our bug out packs, which include enough food for a day. We have a quick grab for our passports and our documentation, so we can just go out of the. If we need to leave immediately, we're already set up for that.
Yeah, mad.
And then we're looking at it at a bigger scale stuff where I've got this waterproof trunk that I want to fill up with food. But the problem when you start doing these emergency packs, you've got to service them every year.
Yeah.
Because you've got to check what's going out of date, rotate the stock.
Yeah.
Make sure, because, I have, I need asthma medication. Do I have enough of that? Is that going to be in date?
Yeah.
And
Do you have asthma?
Yeah.
I've never seen you fucking puff on anything.
Well,
besides
a cigarette.
I've never seen you.
I don't mind the occasional cigar around Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave myself open on that one. Shit.
Yeah.
The blue vein type.
That's exactly what I was going to say, but I couldn't get it out.
I'm glad I beat you to it.
Yeah.
No, we have been setting up for our doomsday preparation.
Yeah.
And it's as fun as it is setting that up, in the back of your mind, it's a little bit scary. But I just find it peculiar that they were advertising for flood awareness in one of the most driest periods in history.
Amidst fucking epic fires.
Yeah, and then the fires happened. They took the billboards down.
Did they?
Yeah. I noticed they changed the billboards.
Yeah,
They changed
right.
it. I don't think they went their full cycle. I know I'm speculating there and probably anecdotal information, but they did change those billboards. And then I'd be in a pub with someone and they go, "Oh, these fires are terrible," and you'd be surrounded by smoke. I even had an experience where I was bodyboarding at Caves Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and it was
I haven't been there in a while.
Oh, man, great break.
Yeah.
Really nice, workable ride. And not too big, it's not too harrowing, right? You can just hop on these little tubes and have a nice ride. And went out into these waves, and then this cloud of smoke just sort of landed on the beach. And I never, it actually made me realise, because you're having so much fun surfing that you don't realise how exerting it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually like running.
Yeah.
That's what I figured out from the smoke, because I'd be out there going, oh, and you really, really feel it in your lungs because your body's working harder because you're in water.
Yeah.
And you're paddling onto a wave, and then you've got to paddle back out to get the wave again. Yeah. It's actually quite enduring. It's a bit of an endurance, and you had to get out of the water. Couldn't handle the smoke. Had to get out of the water. And that was on holidays. Then we got back, and then I was saying to people in a pub, what do you think of this fire other than the smoke and whatnot? I said, well, it's probably going to flood. And they're like, how do you know that? I go, because the government advertised it, and they know. They know that it's going to flood. They know the water's coming.
Have you? You saw that video as well, eh? The one I shared to the Dank chat.
Which one?
The one of the bloke talking about how the government are controlling the weather.
Is this the 5G thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what to believe about that.
But have you seen how overpowered those fucking towers are?
Yeah, but is there any true evidence to show like they are pushing clouds away and this sort of thing?
Don't know. I'm not part of the government.
Yeah. Well, there seems to be plenty of clouds around.
They weren't fucking 3 months ago when there was a fucking fire raging.
I don't know.
Okay, put it this way, all right? The day that we got that torrential rain that flooded everything, my fucking garage included, right? There was a fire in Minchinbury. It was out of control. That day, torrential rain, there, in that area. But for the entire, 3 months that the fires were burning, not for one fucking drop.
Yeah, well, it's something peculiar. It is peculiar, right? But I thought about this. I go, is this like a 100-year event, 1,000-year event? Because you've got to think about it that way. Like the Australian bush it has evolved with fire. That's a fact. It has. And you look at the erosion, like I'm a bit of a geology hound, right? I love looking at landscapes and understanding how they work. Bit of an uber nerd, if you will.
Super.
Yeah, I do know a little bit when it comes to the landscape
fucking
and the rocks.
Whole lot.
But the erosion that you see in the strata around Australia is immense, right? So there's been massive, water events. Like in fact, the Sydney Basin, right?
Yeah.
Used to be an ocean. It used to be a lake.
Yeah.
It used to be an ocean that turned into a lake, and now it's filled in with sandstone, and there's even a layer of coal, which is called the Illawarra Coal Seam, which goes all the way to Newcastle, hence the coal mining up there.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way down to, obviously, Illawarra, where they mine coal down there, and that seam goes all the way through. And
all the way.
Yeah, all the way from Newcastle to Illawarra, there's a bed of coal. Yeah. And above that is the Hawkesbury sandstone, which all the sandstone buildings were made out of during colonisation. But you got to understand, all that material came from what they call the Lachlan Fold Belt, which is the mountains that surrounded the Sydney Basin.
This cunt knows too fucking much.
Yeah. But all of those mountains eroded away to fill that basin. So there's been massive water events over millions of years doing that. So if you look at the water that was falling through the Blue Mountains over the recent weeks, it's intense. Like waterfalls that didn't exist, that we didn't know existed.
We're existing.
Yeah, right,
mate. Did you see the landslide or whatever that stopped the trains?
I do know about the landslide that stopped the trains because I catch a train every day. Freaking frustrating. Yeah, but it's that's what I mean. These massive water events, these massive fire events. Because if you think about it,
just a second.
Yeah.
Did you make it to work that day?
I did, but it took me an hour and a half. It's grueling, and an hour and a half to get back, and I was on a cramped train, and it's hard. I'm usually pretty pushy. I always get a seat though. I
Those
just
poor pregnant ladies.
I know. Look, if I see a pregnant lady, she'll get my chair. If I'm not looking at my phone.
Yeah, I'll just clear a space.
But no, I've got excellent commuter kung fu, no doubt about it. But yeah, no, every time there is during the fires, during these water events, the train system's always stuffed up. Yeah. I question, is this just one of those events? But the science is undivided though. They do say that we are changing the climate at an accelerated rate. They agree on that.
Yeah. All right. So, like you were saying, the climate change. I don't think how do you put it? We're polluting it, and it's fucking up the climate. But we're not changing it. It's going to happen.
Climate changes regardless.
Yes, exactly.
Is the other point that goes in my head.
That's right, but we're just making it
faster. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say we're making it faster. We're just making it worse when it happens.
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I guess I do take the... because, I don't know, people always say to me, are you right-wing or left-wing? Because, doing military service, someone...
I've fucking got both wings, mate.
Yeah, I think I got both. I just think the system's broken. We need to fix it. I don't know how to fix it.
No.
I just know that it's broken.
They don't even know how to fix it.
Yeah.
The people that are trying to fix it can't fix it.
Yeah, and there's obviously something wrong. When we've got as much plastic in the oceans as fish, there's a problem.
Yeah.
When, we're not pushing policies to find different ways to make energy, that's a problem. Like...
Actually, something your partner might like.
Mm.
Zero Co. Have you seen anything about them?
What the hell is Zero Co?
Okay, so they send you... They're trying to eliminate one-use plastics in the household.
Yeah.
So they'll send you your dishwashing liquid bottle, your cleaning bottles, all that for a set price, and then they only have you get the refills off them.
Oh, okay, so they give you like a permanent bottle.
They send you the refills in the mail.
Yeah.
And then you empty the refill into the container.
And you send it back.
They clean it,
That's
refill
a really good
it,
idea.
and then send it back.
I didn't know. I haven't heard about that. That's a really good idea. What's it called again?
Zero Co.
Zero Co. Check out Zero Co. Anyone's watching, like Misty, check out Zero Co.
Yeah, Misty.
Yeah.
You love that stuff.
Yeah. Well, no, I think
it's a good idea. Like, if I could afford to do it, I'd do it. Because it's not expensive.
Yeah.
But
it's pricey enough to slow you down to think about it.
Yeah, well, when you run out, like, for, say, like, you're washing, like, shower gel and shit like that, it's like $13, $14 for a refill. Where you can go and buy a single-use plastic bottle for $5. It sucks, but if I could afford to do it, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Definitely, straight away.
But I think the tide's changing on those sort of things. Like, if they changed the culture, like a good example is the plastic bags, man. They totally changed the culture.
Yeah.
I remember when they changed the plastic bags, Coles and Woolies come out and said, this is going to cost the industry $70 million. It's going to cost jobs.
Better.
Well, they're actually made and saved money. So from where they were in an alarmist position, they're like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
we're making money on this.
They're not paying for the plastic bags.
And they're selling the other ones.
And they're selling the other ones, yeah. Definitely.
So there's a definite... it's a definite good thing about it, but it also shifted culture. Although I do get annoyed when I go to the store and I forgot my bag. I fucking
They're
hate
still in
that.
the car. You know what I do? Just throw it back in the trolley and pack it at the car.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're not in the car because you left them in the house because you didn't put them back in the car. So it's just changing your habits though, because we've been like doing this plastic bag job for our entire lives.
Yeah.
So a couple of years of this torment, we'll get our heads around it. But I think, we should totally stop. Even if people are divided on the science, I think it is good stewardship to do things better.
Yeah.
And we totally should. Like, because we've been here for such a blink of an eye, man. Like, humanity's only been here for a very short time in comparison to the age of the Earth. Or, in fact, the age of the universe. So... we should be doing a better job. Like when you're looking around and there's only like 300 of this type of lion, where there used to be thousands of them.
We're fucking up.
We're fucking it up.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
even giraffes, bro.
Yeah,
you wouldn't think it, but they're fucked as well because they're just getting shot.
Man, I learned something interesting about giraffes the other day. Speaking of giraffes,
what did you learn?
I learned about their arteries. They have these one-way... because they've got their heads really high.
Yes, and it has to be strong enough to pump the blood all the way up there.
Yeah.
So they have a special valve in their heart.
Yeah, and they have and all through their neck. They've got these valves. So what it does is it pumps blood up to one section,
and then
pumps it up to the next section,
and
it pumps up the next section. So these valves are in they're synchronized to get the blood to the brain. Like, how fascinating!
I told you, he knows too much.
It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
But I just think we should be doing better, man. Like,
well, we should be.
But we got to realise at the same time, you can't turn coal off and then turn whatever alternative that we have on. You know,
Yeah.
'cause you're going to fuck up people's lives.
You got to slowly do it.
You got to do it over a transition. You can't just go into someone's life going, well, I know you've been doing this for 15 years. I know your dad did it for 40 years, but you're out of a job, son. You know, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, people's lives depend on these jobs. So you've got to... There is a middle ground. And that's why I think the system's broken, when they can't agree on what that middle ground is and they can't figure it out. I think it's... And a lot of people would probably argue, well, they are sorting it out. Well, I disagree. They're not.
Not quick enough.
Not quick enough. Because, you know, if you're someone that's living in rural Australia and you've lost your house, I think you have to be of the opinion that it's not quick enough.
No, definitely not.
You know? But
what I find a bit silly, but is fair enough. They're upset and they're blaming the Prime Minister for not getting enough help and stuff, but how long has he been in there for? Not even fucking a year.
That's true.
And they're blaming him because their houses and their land's burning down, when the contingency plan to help them would have already been in place before him.
Well, look, when you look at ScoMo, right, you've got to pay credit where credit is due. He won the unwinnable election. Right?
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? He may have done it through, like, sports rorts and whatnot. Say what you will about it. It was a tactic that fucking worked.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He's in office.
Yeah.
Like it or lump it. He's
Yeah.
in office, right? And, you know, if you look at the two leaders, you're like, who would you prefer? You're like, I don't like any of them. But, you know, you've got what you got.
They can both fuck off.
I think going to Hawaii was perhaps a shitty move.
Yeah, but, all right. So, okay. Say he'd already postponed it. Already. I think twice to go there. Unfortunately, you can only postpone it so much.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough, he's the Prime Minister and it's a shit go, dickhead move, but
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Exactly. He's just going to have to take it on the chin and hide in his house like he has been.
Yeah, but there's one thing that annoyed me because he goes, "Look, I don't sit in the control room. I don't control a hose, mate." And I don't think when
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's a shitty thing to say. Like, as you say, you know, go on holiday, don't go on holiday, whatever. Reap the repercussions of that. But to come out and say, "I don't use a hose, mate," is like Winston Churchill saying, "Well, I don't fly a Spitfire. You know, London's been bombed by the Germans, but I don't fly a plane.
Yeah.
Not my problem." You know, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I know, but what could he have done, really?
He stood on the podium and told people, "Look, we're doing what we can."
Exactly.
And that's his job.
Yeah.
You know.
So instead of going before he went to Hawaii, he should have done that.
Yeah. Like,
and then gone to Hawaii.
Like, I see the point. Practically, there's nothing the man can do. He's the Prime Minister. He's essentially a public servant. What can he do?
That's right.
But
he's just a fucking...
But he's also an orator. He's someone that should be out front on a podium talking about it. And that's the part that he didn't do. And that's where it looks like this abandonment.
Well, he did, but from Hawaii...
We felt abandoned. And that's it's just ugly. Like, I think you know, for someone who's in marketing... I think that was a really bad marketing move. Just saying.
Yeah, you've lost the next one, mate. Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Oh, look, maybe he won't. He won the first time, which was unwinnable.
Yeah.
Even the polls coming out and said that Shorten was getting in, man. You know, I'm not saying I'd want Shorten for PM.
Do you reckon Trump's going to win the next one?
Oh, that's a hard one. I don't know. Has Bernie got his pre-selection yet? I haven't really been keeping up.
I don't know.
I think if Bernie gets the pre-selection, he's got a fight in his hands.
Yeah, definitely.
If it's anyone else,
they wanted him last time, eh?
Well, they're pushing Bloomberg forward.
Who's Bloomberg?
Bloomberg he's a stock market guy, multi-billionaire.
Yeah, obviously.
Put it this way: all the computers that they use on Wall Street, guess what their brand's called? Bloomberg. They're Bloomberg computers, right? So he owns that.
Yeah,
he owns the computers that are on the stock market.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So in a way, he kind of owns the stock market, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So he's winning.
Yeah. You know, but he's someone that would advocate that he made himself a billionaire. He didn't inherit his money.
Yeah.
Right. He's someone who would advocate that. I haven't really looked into him to understand if he would be a good president and whatnot, but is he someone that is formidable enough to take on Trump? Probably. But I think if Bernie gets up in the pre-selection, I think, yeah. It's a strange fight, though, because there will be... the Americans are very... naturally pro-American, and the campaign against Bernie is that he's anti-American. He's a socialist, and they'll spin the definition of socialism against him.
But he nearly won the last one.
He nearly won the pre-selection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't beat Hillary.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bit of scuttlebutt going on with that as well. Apparently there was a bit of a dodginess going on to get Hillary as the front runner. Like, apparently that wasn't entirely fair either. They changed the rules on how you get pre-selection just so she can get in.
Yeah, right.
Unconfirmed, disconfirmed, I don't know.
But I've got connections.
Yeah, I've also got a server in my house that collects government secrets, but we don't like to talk about it.
I'm laughing because it's probably fucking true.
It is. That's what she got found out for. That's what this whole fiasco is about. It's about the Russian hacking, and but that's where.
I thought you were talking about you.
No, I don't have a server. I just got the government secrets. I am the server. No, but that's where Julian Assange comes into it. So
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Julian Assange is?
No.
Oh, well, he's a guy. You heard of WikiLeaks?
Yeah.
He built that.
Oh yeah.
He built WikiLeaks, right?
He's the one that's in trouble.
Yeah, he was a 1980s hacker from Melbourne that made something of himself, becoming a air quotations digital journalist.
Yeah.
But most people would call him a hacker and a. He was involved. Other people would argue he was involved in joint venture into other people hacking and stealing secrets.
To get the information.
Yeah, in certain circles, he'd be referred to as a rat bag. Because he's sold government secrets, like he's
treasonous bastard.
Yeah, he literally has. He has committed treason, but the treason that he committed was exposing atrocities. So
it's kind of treasonous, but it's 50-50.
Yeah, a lot of people were divided on it. Yeah, and myself included. Like, because there's the famous video that was released in Iraq that showed innocent civilians being shot by a 30mm cannon from a Apache helicopter.
Yeah,
and to put that in perspective, these are guys that are sitting 3 to 4 kilometres away, and they would have been feeling those rounds before they heard them, and they were about that big, travelling twice the speed of sound, with an explosive tip on them. Really nasty stuff.
Yeah.
And they were a film crew, and the guy had a camera on his shoulder, and they thought it was a rocket launcher, so they engaged. Like, those pilots genuinely made a mistake, but they shot innocent civilians, and he exposed that.
Yeah.
You would have heard of Chelsea Manning. You would have heard Chelsea Manning in the news.
I think I did, but
Chelsea Manning was a private that had that secret and gave that secret to Julian Assange.
Okay.
Julian Assange then was convicted of rape allegations in Sweden, and then went into the Ecuadorian embassy for asylum, so he couldn't be extradited.
Yeah.
He was waiting for the statute of limitations on that to pass so that he could exit the Ecuadorian embassy to get back to Australia before he could get extradited to America, because they want him bad.
Yeah, so so they've set him up.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the rape allegations are a bit bizarre, because it wasn't about non-consensual sex, it was about the use of a condom.
What?
Yeah, so in Sweden they have these laws that are a bit different from what what we think about consent and what rape is. Like, their laws are different.
Okay.
Yeah, so
if you don't use a condom, that's rape.
It can be defined as that, yeah.
And if you do use one, it's
well, look, put it this way. Just say, excuse me, it's a touchy subject, controversial. No, well, for instance, if he was in a consensual scenario with a lady, and she said, can you put on a condom? And then he goes, yeah, I've got it sorted, baby, no worries, and doesn't.
That's rape.
That can constitute rape, yeah.
Right.
So I think that is the circumstance that he was in. So it was a very grey area, right?
Yeah.
Very grey area.
It really feels good without one.
well,
and she would agree.
You can't argue with that.
I guarantee she would agree.
But with that said, they were the charges against him, and he was avoiding extradition to Sweden to extradite him to America. Now he's in jail because the Ecuadorian embassy kicked him out, and he is now he's now been imprisoned, incarcerated by the English. And they've got him in for skipping extradition to Sweden, and he's got to serve 50 weeks. And in that 50 weeks, I think we're halfway through, and in that time, I reckon it takes about 50 weeks to extradite someone to America from London. And I reckon that's what they're looking at. They're trying to get him over to America so he can face a grand jury. And he's looking at life.
Yeah.
He's looking at life. But
And possibly death.
yeah, but there's actually a really good documentary out there prior to all of this craziness, and it's called Hackers in the Realm, and this is before WikiLeaks. He actually, because his hacker handle was Mandos, I think it was called Mandos or Mandos, and these guys used to hack into NASA, and they stopped a launch. And yeah, man, this is insane. Check it out, Hackers in the Realm. This is a couple of nerds in Melbourne, right, that are getting, remember those pay cards for pay phones?
Yeah.
They're getting pay cards illegally, using a router to go into a payphone, to go into Melbourne University, to use the Melbourne University computer to talk to the computer at NASA. And they stopped the launch.
Wow.
Yeah. And on the background, so their screens went blank, and then they came up with all of this lines of code, and inside the code it had lyrics to Midnight Oil. And that's how they knew that it was an Aussie.
Australia.
Yeah. And then they traced it back, and he was involved in that hacker group.
That's
how he got his claim. That's where he started off as a computer, a hacker. He was definitely a hacker. Whether he was still a hacker afterwards, he got involved a lot in encryption, and hence WikiLeaks and hiding things online. That's why WikiLeaks is there, because they can hide your identity if you're a whistleblower. And you would have heard a lot in the news about chasing down whistleblowers and raiding journalists' houses.
Yeah.
He's the guy that started all this off.
Yeah.
He's the trigger.
Wow.
He's the trigger to these events. And as well, like, he's even been on Q&A on Australian TV.
Yeah.
Where he was Skyping from the Ecuadorian embassy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's full on, man. You should totally check it out. There's this whole movement out there about freeing Assange. I don't know. I don't think he deserves to go before a grand jury. I think we should probably bring him back to Australia and, trial him in our courts for cybercrime.
But other than that, like, exposing atrocities.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's a humanitarian thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what whistleblowing is all about.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
Anyone who's a whistleblower understands that whatever industry they're whistleblowing on, they will never work in it ever again. No one will hire them.
Yeah.
But for someone to be motivated to become a whistleblower, they understand that they need to destroy... What they're reporting is more important than their own livelihood.
Position.
Yeah. Because usually what they're reporting is really horrible.
Yeah.
And usually involves, crimes against humanity. These sort of crimes.
What he did.
That's what happened, yeah. But he released cable information between the States and Australia. So the Australian government's not really happy with him either. So he's embarrassed a lot.
What do you mean, cable info?
So when there's secret conversations between our government and their government, he's gotten hold of those conversations, and he has published them without editing. No editing them, just on the internet.
Wow.
And journalists then go, I'm going to go on to WikiLeaks. Get me a story. If you go on to WikiLeaks, you'll find a story.
Yeah.
Like he's got tens of thousands of pages of secrets on WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
And reporters go there to find stories. And that's the design of it. That's its purpose. Whether that purpose is a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. I'm not...
So pretty much you'd have to, like, sift through it, like, read it all just to find something.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the claims were as well that he released information that damaged people's cover as undercover agents, or a whole plethora of dangerous things that weren't considered. I think when I think about it that way, having this information that's obviously important for public interest.
There's also stuff in there that he's compromised.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think it definitely needs to be held accountable for that.
Yeah.
Because him in himself is a whistleblower.
Yeah.
And he has to understand that, you've made this movement, pal, and you've got to face the music at some point.
Yeah.
If you've done the right thing, you should be exonerated for it anyway.
Yeah.
But you got to go through the process.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. I think he's got to go through the process. Going to a grand jury in the States, though, I don't think they're going to look too...
He's not coming out of prison.
I don't think they'll look too kindly on it.
He won't even spend a full... he won't even serve his full time. They'll probably fucking kill him in there.
Yeah, well, look, it's not hard to get to people that you want to get to in places like that. Look, it's... what was that fella's name? Broke his neck full time, hanging himself in jail? Epstein.
Yeah. Apparently he didn't hang himself. I
find it hard to believe, that all the footage is gone. That's extremely peculiar.
Just that section though.
Man, we've gone very conspiracy in
yeah.
this episode. I didn't know where we were going to go. I started off talking about the length of my lawn.
Yeah.
Fucking the grass has gotten long, man, and I pulled a rib emptying some of the into the bin. The catcher, emptying the catcher, I pulled a rib.
Yeah, you pulled a rib.
Yeah, I pulled a bit of me back. I'm like, oh man, that's a bit sore.
You pulled a back muscle.
Yeah, a bit
Not
of
a rib.
halvage. Oh, but my rib hurts.
It's the muscle.
Yeah, probably. I don't know how it works. I don't know everything.
Bullshit. Seem to know a lot about fuck all.
Yeah, I know a lot of useless information, that's for sure.
Yeah, I do too. Like, crocodiles can't eat underwater.
They can't?
No. They'll drown.
Oh, because they got to chomp and it's all a part of valves in their mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Useless.
Bloody hell. Yeah. But they've evolved. They're essentially living dinosaurs, those things.
Yes.
They've been around for hundreds of millions of years.
Yeah.
Same as sharks as well, I think. Sharks have been around for a long time. These apex predators, they have no need to evolve. They just survive. Yeah, the apex predators that are out there. Us humble little podcasters.
Lock up your wives.
Lock up your wives and grab your knives. He's coming. Yeah. Oh man, look. I think we can wrap.
Has it been half an hour already?
Man, it's been past half an hour. I think.
For real?
Yeah, we've done 45.
Wow.
Yeah.
A whole lot of talking shit about fuck all.
Yeah, a whole lot of much to do about nothing. But we do have to get ready to go to band practice soon. So we're gonna have to smoke some cigarettes and drink some beer and air quotations preparation.
Righto.
All right. But thank you for being on the show once again, Rob. Don't forget to check out SSP online if you want any Foley done, if you want any editing done, need some promos done, just personal message me or check us out at stillsearchingproductions.com. Thank you for joining us.
He's a whore. Selling himself. Look at it. Selling himself. Look.
All right, man. Thanks for the show.